The Utah Jazz. How much of a fraud are the Utah Jazz on a scale of 1 to 10, and why is it 11?
Man, that Rudy Gobert to Dallas idea I drew up last week looks better and better each day.
How wrong?
I don't know if
Wow.
Dallas wants him. They're better than Rudy's team right now.
Hey, Dallas just got blown out the other night, bro. KCP got 35 on him.
It happens to everybody, man. Everybody gets blown out every now and then, except for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, not the Grizz. Man, but Utah is what hasn't been said. Like, we've already said everything about this team. Like, none of us believe in them. I don't even think they believe in themselves.
No, I don't think so. Donovan Mitchell certainly doesn't. That's for sure.
I saw somebody on Twitter earlier. They was like, the fact that Rudy and Donovan Mitchell try to convince everybody that they're cool with each other is just the funniest thing ever, because you could tell there's just so much animosity, and it's been that way really ever since Rudy shut the whole world down. Like, basically, there's been so much built up like frustration between those two. It looks, at least that's what it looks like, from an outsider's perspective. And you could tell, like, every time they blow a lead or they lose a game that they shouldn't lose, somebody's saying something like, Rudy's like, oh, the offense is just so stagnant and defensively we're just not good. And then Donovan's like, it's the same shit over and over. And it's just like, bro, change has got to be made this offseason, man. If there's not a big shakeup in Utah, I'm going to be disappointed, man. They're going to really start getting that Portland Trailblazer, Indiana Pacer type of vibe to me, if they're not
It
already.
makes sense. It makes a lot of sense for Donovan to feel the way he feels, because everybody really hates that team because they don't like Rudy, bro. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't think people say, oh, I hate the Jazz. I can't stand Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan's probably tired of it. He's like, man, why am I the villain? Like, I just go out there and hoop. I can average 35 in a playoff series. I'm tween, flashy. I should be everything people do like. But he's not as well liked or respected as he should be because he plays on this Utah team. And so, well, that's not entirely Utah's fault. I mean, you can't really do much. You play in like a pretty small market, obviously. So it's like, not a very well-liked fan base around the association for the way they've treated some players or just people in general. I can think back to the Russell Westbrook situation specifically. But, yeah, it's like now they've lost 6 of their last 7, only win being against the Lakers. That looks pretty terrible. And then, they always say, like, when you're winning, you can really ignore the issues. It's just like a Band-Aid that goes over everything. No matter how deep-rooted your problems are, if you're winning, you're like, it's fine. It's perfectly okay. When you start to lose like this, that's when the true colors show. That's when it really comes out. That's how you really feel. And, yeah, Donovan, bro, I don't think he wants to be in Utah. I don't know where he would want to be, but I just don't think it's there.
The Knicks.
Hey, if he went to the Knicks, he'd probably be pretty well liked. I think the Knicks probably got a lot of haters. They got a lot of people who want to see them fail. Well, that's also the biggest city in the country, so there's gonna be a lot of people that like him too.
Yeah, Utah's just ran its course, bro. It's really just ran its course. Like, they might as well, at this point, I don't know, you might as well just blow it all up, trade everybody, get Quinn Snyder out of there. It's the same thing, man. It's not like, well, we looked at them as like, this team's always going to win a lot of games, but we don't believe in them in the postseason. It's not like how the Bucks were last year. Like, the Bucks was like, we're going to take it easy the regular season because we're worried about the playoffs. The Jazz just aren't that good. Like, they're just not that talented. Like, they're not that talented really. Donovan Mitchell covers up a lot for them offensively, and Rudy does the same thing on the defensive side of the floor. And all the integral pieces on the in-betweens, it's not really as effective, man. And the team, they've done everything they can. We've talked about this before. Like, they've drafted right. They've made the right moves on paper. They made the signings that they could make. But it's just like, this is a mid-tier playoff team, a team that might win a series and is going to get bounced in 6 in the second round. Like, that's just the Utah Jazz. That's how they've been basically like the last 6 or 7 years. It's just the same story over and over again.